What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we got for you some exercises we love to use to improve our springiness. So what I mean by that is pretty much just improving our ability to utilize stored energy. So our jumping and our sprinting can be a lot more efficient. We don't have to be the ones creating that force every single time. In a sense, right, we can utilize energy stored to just be super springy. Think like a kangaroo or a gazelle, something in that sense. So hopefully you enjoy these. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure to subscribe to catch all of them. Hope you enjoy. Number one, we are going banded pogos. So I love banded pogos for a bunch of reasons, but one in particular is you can really work on, number one, your ground contact time. So that's a big thing to be springy. You want to be able to produce high amounts of force as fast as you can. So by utilizing stored energy, that will decrease the time it takes you to produce more force, right? So by having a band, it takes off some of the load and it allows us to get off the ground at a faster rate while getting up a little bit higher. So we can do a couple versions. We can go double leg, single leg, split stands, alternating, right? But essentially, here, I'll go this way. Hopefully I don't break my ankle. We're gonna hold the band, maybe. Hold the band, and then we're just gonna be here, okay? So off the ground fast. Rule of thumb, you don't wanna do a band that's, well, you want a band that's like heavy enough to where it's doing something, but depending on what you're doing, you don't want a band that's like way too crazy tight to where you're like, pew, every single time. You do wanna have it be a little bit, I'm forgetting the word, a little bit like, oh, realistic. There it is. A little realistic to where, you know, I'm holding on and I'm still able to get up. But if I have something too heavy, then it's not necessarily going to transfer, right? Take all that with a grain of salt because it depends on a lot of different factors. But banded pogos, super awesome. And what we can also do with that, this is kind of like a 1B type of deal, is if you don't do banded pogos, one of my favorite pogos to do is going to be alternating pogos. So where I go from one to the next, just popping back and forth, just like this. So we're really trying to keep our heels off the ground and we're just trying to find a rhythm, just be coordinated in our movement to just continue popping like that, building up the Achilles and the lower limb. Number two, we have 4 progressions to this one. I'm gonna roll through them quickly, don't worry. First thing, we're going to single leg drop land. So I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna drop, and then I'm gonna stand. Okay, so I like this progression. Obviously you wanna be good at stabilizing first of all, but I like the drop to a stand because it's a lot more natural and it also teaches the ability to be here and then pop back up. We don't wanna get caught too far down, especially when we're trying to improve springiness. The next progression out of this, we're gonna drop and then we're gonna get into a rebound jump. So here, boom, and then pop. I don't need anything crazy high on your rebound. You just wanna train the ability to land and to go. Utilize the force from the landing. You can also do all this double leg to start in case you need that regression there. What we can do after this is a drop onto a box. Okay, so just gonna go the little dudes today. So we're gonna be here, we're gonna drop, pop right here. One big thing with this one is you wanna make sure you're getting off the ground fast. So that's what we're going with the drop jump, right, versus the depth jump. So with the drop, it's all about how fast can you get off the ground. So don't go too crazy high to where it slows your jump down. Another one we can do is gonna be a drop to a broad jump. So now we're just utilizing forces differently. Instead of going more vertical, we're taking this more horizontal. So I drop, boom. That was the wimpiest broad jump you'll ever see in your whole life, but that'll do, donkey. So we're sticking with those. I love all these variations. Like I said, you can go single leg, double leg, but these are great just to train that utilization of energy. Number 3, we're going single leg broad jumps. So once again, it's all about utilizing energy, being off the ground quick, right? So I want you to obviously try to get some distance, try to get far, but don't get caught on the ground. So as you go, it's just that repeat motion of pushing force in, bringing it up. These are gonna be really wimpy single leg broads, so please don't judge me, but just boom, pop every single time. Okay, I like these because obviously it's very important to build up the lower limb. That's gonna be like key for all this. but it's still important, you know, all the way down to be good at utilizing energy. It's just that spring usually comes from being really good down in your lower limb. So we got those single leg broads. Another thing we can do very similar will be bounds. These are kind of, to me, similar to single leg broad jumps in a sense with a quick ground contact. We're just going from one leg to the next. So this is gonna be great for sprinting. Because when it comes to sprinting, you wanna be able to put lots of force into the ground really fast, right? The faster force goes in and the more force that goes in, the better we're gonna be. So I'm gonna be from one to the next, right? Super like springy with it. It kind of looks like I'm just floating in the air. Maybe it doesn't, maybe I look terrible when I do them. But you're trying to look like a gazelle, right? Being able to put force in, not really having to smack too hard, right? But you want to just be able to pop force in, utilize this motion, utilize all the energy created to then just pop you into the next movement. Number 4, we're going hurdles. As you can see, we're going different heights. This is because I like training with some smaller dudes as we're getting some bigger dudes in here. So what I mean by all that is I'll overlay clips of Spencer, but as we're jumping from a high height, we want to be able to, as I keep saying, utilize that energy to just spring. So we're going to think of these little ones almost as like a pogo, where I don't need you getting really big every single time, right? We're going to get big and then we're just going to use that and just boom, pop up over every single time. So by having these different ones, it allows the athlete to do that. It's like a visual cue. You don't need them, right? You can just tell an athlete like, hey, off your land, give me like a little pogo and then get into the next one. I like having the hurdles. So this one's awesome. I don't have anything else to say with that. Number 5, we're going multi-planar plate hop. So this one's fantastic to build the lower limb in general. I like it because we're going side to side with it, up and down, forward and back. We're getting everything. So we're gonna be here, one leg, up, down, over, Same thing goes, you wanna be strong in your lower limb to where your foot's not collapsing every time, right? You don't see flat, right? I'm on the ball of my foot, I'm just springing with it. If you're starting with these, like new to them, you can make them really close, like this, so your jumps don't have to be crazy far. And then you can also go double leg, where I'm here, just to train that ability to be on the balls of your feet. Another variation that I like with this is going down here, and we're going like a skater variation. So I just pop back and forth like that, training the side to side. Same thing, be quick on the ground. A lot of this stuff is, as I keep saying, utilizing energy to pop up high and to pop up fast. Number 6, we're going a double leg box jump with a pogo. So I'm working on the little baby dude right here, but we're going up, down with a pogo, just like this, okay? So when you hit your pogo, try to pop up pretty high. Same thing, don't let your heels collapse. When you get good at this, then honestly something like repeat box jumps where we don't have the pogo is a really good progression. We add the pogo, like I keep saying, just to work on that utilization, especially when you're just starting off. But when you get good, we're just here and we pop just like that. You'll want to float on top as you can jump higher on a box. That's going to be really awesome. Only thing is you don't want your box to be too high to where you're not floating on top and to where you have to start tucking your knees. If you keep it lower, you can still jump as high as you can. You just float on and off versus having to tuck like that. So this one's super, super great. Sticking with the theme of jumps and pogos, we're going skater with a pogo. So we're working that frontal plane side to side. I'm gonna go here, pogo up, land, pogo up, land. So I'm back and forth like that. That's a really great progression, or I'll say regression, before just going side to side. A lot of athletes have trouble being able to push back and forth side to side without just like stepping like that, right? You want to get your body going with you versus just doing like a funky dance move. So by adding that pogo, it allows the athletes to get their body moving. And I really like that one, especially when we look at, I got my breath. Especially when we look at like changing direction and agility. A lot of people who are really good at changing direction have a great ability to utilize energy. So when we're looking at, your ground contact time and the force produced, how those two go hand in hand, people who can produce high amounts of force with a low ground contact time often are going to change directions better, right? So if I'm shuffling and I just have, boom, a little jab, but in that jab, I have a lot of force and I can handle the force all the way through, then my change of direction is going to be better. So by working on this stuff, it's not just for jumping, right? It's not just for sprinting. It's also changing directions, side to side, all of that stuff, pure athleticism. Last one, we're going rear foot elevated lateral jumps over the hurdle. You don't have to use the hurdle. We can just regress it and we can go no hurdle, just jump back and forth, plates. A couple of videos ago, we posted something, I forget what the video was, but we have this exercise in it with some different variations, so go check that one out. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna be here, back leg up. So now I'm really just using my front leg, but the reason I like this is because my back leg is still involved. So it takes a little bit of load off the front leg so I can be quicker in my movement. So all I'm gonna do is just jump back and forth, just working on some lateral jumps, back and forth like that. Okay, but as I said, with my foot on the back, it's kind of like a kickstand. However, I still am utilizing it, so it's making it easier. If I were to just go single leg jumps, whoa, which I could, this is definitely a progression we do, right? It's not gonna be as floaty as that, right? Back and forth, right? It's a little bit longer of a ground contact time, especially as I'm coming this way, back over to the outside. But by putting my foot up, swing and a miss. By putting my foot up, it allows it to be a lot quicker because I'm kind of pushing off with my, what a save, kind of pushing off with my back leg. So hopefully this helps. Like you've heard me say, broken record, utilize energy really well, work on your ability to use that stored energy, be fast off the ground, produce high force, and you're gonna be solid. Hopefully you enjoy this. Please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe. We'll catch you on the flip side.